Okay, so you said you were at about a 6 on a scale from 1 to 10 or you said you were about a 5.
Yeah.
Um, why did you give yourself that score?
Because I just feel like it's not all my change to make.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like in order for me to be confident that I can do it, I need his help too. So I just don't feel like I can do it by myself.
Okay, so to move up higher on the scale, do you feel like you need your husband to also help you?
Yeah, I feel like I need his support, and I feel like right now it's just me and him fighting against one another and not together on the same page at all.
Okay, so it sounds like you need to be on the same page, and then maybe the 6 or the 5 could turn into a 6 or 7 or
Yeah.
something. Okay, and what would make you more confident about changing?
I think if we could get him to agree to come in with me, maybe, but he just keeps pushing and saying that I need to come in, and I need to come in, and I need to do something about it. So maybe if we could get him to come in and do something with me, or even just come in and sit next to me so he could hear something or anything.
Okay, so you would also be open to him just coming along and sitting in on our sessions, so that way he would know how you're feeling?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because that would be him doing something, anything. So that would just be a step in the right direction, I feel like. So.
Do you think there's any way I can help you succeed?
I don't know.
Has just talking about it to someone else helped you at all?
It has a little bit. It's given me a little bit of confidence as far as like I can do something and um, and acknowledge that it is a problem, but it's not just my problem. That it is a problem between the two of us, and it's made me look and see more clearly that it's causing problems in other areas. Um, I think maybe if we could just somehow convince him just to even come in and sit on a session, and on a session maybe he would agree to um, participate, maybe some too.
Okay, well, I think it's really good that you have been able to acknowledge that maybe your spending money has caused a problem. You at least acknowledge that it is a problem, but you also realize that it's not just your problem, it's also your husband's problem, and he needs to participate more and communicate with you better, and then maybe, that'll strengthen your all's relationship, and you'll have more confidence in being able to not spend money. Do you think that sounds?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Okay. Is there anything that you found helpful in your previous attempts to change?
Um, in the past, when I was younger, like I was a teenager and I smoked as a teenager, and I quit smoking on my own. Um, and I just had to like make up my mind and just decide that I was going to do it, and I did it. So I think in this situation, I'm just going to have to make up my mind, and like when I get the urge to go and do something and go to the store, I have to just maybe just make a list and pretend like I did it or something, or find something to do around the house where I don't just leave. Maybe garden or something, go outside and trim the hedges. I don't know. Just find something else to do to occupy my time until I'm okay. So.
Well, first of all, I want to say congratulations on quitting smoking on your own. I know that can be something very tough to do.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But it sounds like to me you're a very determined person, and once you put your mind to something, you can do it, and that's really very good.
Thank you.
And maybe, do you think maybe if you decide to change, what might your options be?
Um, I think if I just make a list and stick to that, or even if I could do like get in a group where we did like play dates or something,
Mhm.
or go to the park together, or something like that. Maybe that could be my once a couple of days or something like where I just went somewhere. And that would be a lot cheaper than me going to the grocery store, just going somewhere. Um, because since our last session, I've been just trying to think about different things I can do, and but every time I think about it, I just get frustrated because I think, well, he'll just say that costs money too.
Mhm.
So, but then I think, well, it's less money than me going to the store. So there's two sides to it.
Do you think your husband would be okay with you making a list, or do you think he would just see that as you still continuing to spend money?
I think he would be okay with it because then he could maybe look at it and say, well, we don't need this or we don't need that. Or sometimes I think he gets aggravated because when I do go, I don't get stuff that he wants. Like, he really likes, on the weekends, he likes to have queso and chips and stuff, but I don't get that because I feel like it's not something we need. But he's like, you buy everything else. Why don't you get me my queso? So I don't know, maybe a list would help him get some of the stuff like he wants and not just stuff that we need or that I think that we need.
So maybe you all could sit down and write this list together. That way you can both agree on what you need or what you don't need.
Yeah, or I could just have it like on the refrigerator or like on the table or somewhere where he can see it, and if he wants to cross stuff off or add stuff to it, maybe he could do that.
Okay, and you mentioned earlier that you've known people that have gotten divorces over money because men are, and are there any ways that have worked for other people that didn't get a divorce and how they solved their money issues?
Um, like I said, most of them have gotten divorced, but there is one couple that right now they're currently working things out, and it's someone I talk to on the phone sometimes and kind of call, and you have that one friend you call and just complain to when stuff happens, and I call her and tell her what's going on, and she kind of tells me the same thing. Well, you shouldn't go every day and stuff like that. So she's kind of feel like sometimes on his side, but her talk to me is kind of why I came in too, because that's two people telling me, hey, I should be doing it every day. But um, they communicate with each other, which is why I keep saying, it's not just my problem,
Mm-hmm.
like it's his too. So communication is really something that is important in the situation. So communication really needs to be worked on.
Yeah, it sounds like you really would like to communicate with your husband. You just don't know exactly how to bring it up to him without it becoming a confrontation or.
Yeah, exactly. Like how it won't turn into like a huge fight. Like I'm trying to tell him that he's doing something wrong and
So he
him get
maybe
angry.
he might think you're trying to place the blame on him.
Right.
Okay. So have you learned anything from the ways that you tried before? Have you learned anything different? So that maybe that could help you in the future when trying to change.
Um,
Or
ask the question. Ask the question again. I didn't understand.
have you learned from the way things that that you did wrong the last time? Have you learned from that, and so that when you try to change again, or try to cut back spending, you can maybe be more successful?
Oh, I really haven't tried to quit spending money, but um, I don't know. And my friend, she made a list.
Mhm.
So that's what she told me to do too. So maybe that is something I should do. Is just make a list. And I keep going back to making a list.
Well, it seems like that's very important to you and that you should give it a try and see how that works.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I might try that this week and see how it goes.
Mhm.
So,
Okay, well, it looks like we're running out of time for this today, and we'll pick up again next week.
okay.